Welcome to Highway Herald, your roadmap to the latest in auto. Today, we're diving into the heart of California, a state known for its wealth, population, and pioneering spirit, especially when it comes to environmental initiatives. This is particularly true in the realm of electric vehicles, EVs, where California has been leading the charge, with EVs now making up nearly a quarter of the new car market. But even in this EV paradise, there are signs of trouble brewing. Let's delve into the top 5 indicators that suggest California's EV adoption is hitting some speed bumps. Starting with indicator number 5, a dip in EV sales. For years, California's EV market has been accelerating faster than the rest of the US, culminating in EVs claiming a whopping 21% of California's new car market last year. This is a remarkable feat, especially when you consider that the national average is a third of this. But these figures have been years in the making, and the landscape changed dramatically last year. In a surprising twist, sales began to decline for the first time in years during the third and fourth quarters of 2023. The first hint of this downward trend came when the third quarter wrapped up, revealing a total of just over 101,000 EV sales, a slight 2% drop from the nearly 103,000 EVs sold in the second quarter. This minor dip barely registered on the radar of industry experts. But then the fourth quarter numbers rolled in, showing fewer than 90,000 new EVs sold. This 10% drop set off alarm bells, leading many to question the feasibility of California's ambitious goal to phase out new internal combustion cars by 2035. While 2 quarters of declining sales aren't enough to hit the panic button, they do raise eyebrows. They suggest that after years of rapid growth, California's EV adoption is showing signs of fatigue. If this trend continues into 2024, it may be time to rethink the strategy. Before we continue, if you're new to Highway Herald, hit that subscribe button. Your support fuels our passion to bring you more content like this. Now let's shift gears and move on to indicator number 4. Even Tesla is feeling the strain. For years, traditional automakers have been in a relentless pursuit of Tesla, striving to match its technological prowess and sales figures, but with limited success. Globally, the Texas-based EV giant remains a formidable force, boasting record-breaking sales in 2023, with over 1.8 million units sold. The story was similar in California, where Tesla saw a substantial 25% growth over 2022. However, a closer look reveals a different narrative. The first half of 2023 was a period of significant growth, but the tide began to turn. By the end of the last quarter, Tesla experienced a considerable 10.5% drop compared to the same period the previous year. And while Tesla seems to be plateauing, competitors are gaining ground. Tesla lost about 10% of its market share in 2023, while legacy automakers like Mercedes-Benz and BMW made gains. Despite having only one EV in its lineup, Toyota remains the top-selling brand, relying primarily on hybrid and gasoline-only vehicles. Industry experts attribute Tesla's slowdown to several factors. It's not just about competitors catching up. Tesla's lack of significant updates to its lineup is also a contributing factor. Apart from the new Model 3, most of Tesla's vehicles have remained unchanged for several years. Despite this, Tesla models continue to lead the pack among electrified vehicles sold in California, with the Model Y and Model 3 taking the top 2 spots, followed by the recently discontinued Chevy Bolt and the plug-in hybrid Jeep Wrangler. Moving on to indicator number 3, shifts in federal tax credits. California, a state known for its affluence and early adopters, has been at the forefront of the EV transition. This rapid shift has been fueled by nationwide government incentives, including a $7,500 discount for new EVs and up to $4,000 for used ones. Recent tax rule changes allow for immediate claims, and a new statewide program offers up to $12,000 for residents to replace older cars with cleaner alternatives. However, changes to the federal tax credit have introduced new challenges. To safeguard its economy and reduce reliance on China for batteries and crucial minerals, the new act has raised the bar for eligibility, requiring a higher percentage of components from America or trade partners. This change has led to over 20 electric vehicles, including popular models like the Tesla Model 3 and Nissan Leaf, losing their eligibility for this incentive. This leaves only 14 vehicles that currently qualify for the $7,500 tax credit, potentially impacting the growth of EV popularity in California. Experts predict this number will increase as manufacturers adjust their supply chains to meet the new rules, but the timeline remains uncertain. Indicator number 2, challenges at charging stations. California's rapid growth in the EV market can be attributed in part to substantial investments in charging networks. With thousands of stations, California boasts the most extensive charging network in the US. However, the user experience is far from perfect. Take Electrify America's charging network as an example. Despite investing over $2 billion and installing over 4,000 chargers across the country, many of which are in California, only 72.5% of fast chargers were operational last year. With 1 in 5 charging attempts failing, it's clear that customer satisfaction leaves much to be desired. Issues range from broken screens and faulty payment systems to damaged cords and slow charging rates. For potential EV buyers, these problems could be a deal breaker. While EVs have certain advantages over internal combustion cars, the lack of seamless charging makes them less convenient. The reality of owning an EV is more complex than it seems, especially considering that many California residents live in apartments and can't charge their EVs at home. The inconvenience associated with charging is proving to be a bigger hurdle than initially anticipated. It's not just about the time it takes to charge, it's also about the unreliability of public chargers. We used to think EV drivers suffered from range anxiety, but it turns out the real issue is charging anxiety. Moving on to indicator number 1, EVs remain out of reach for average drivers. While there are many factors contributing to the decline of the EV market in California, cost is the primary barrier. The era of wealthy early adopters is over, and EV manufacturers are now targeting average consumers. However, for many, EVs remain an unaffordable investment. In essence, EVs have yet to offer enough benefits to be considered a viable alternative to internal combustion cars. Despite significant discounts and generous government incentives, EVs still cost more on average. Beyond impressive acceleration, they offer little else in return. As previously mentioned, range and charging anxiety can make owning an EV quite inconvenient. Then there's the cost of ownership, which is often higher than expected due to higher insurance premiums and repair costs. Recent reports indicate that EVs are 80% less reliable than gas-powered cars, with issues ranging from charging and battery performance to infotainment systems, advanced drive assist systems, and build quality. Additionally, the potential cost of battery replacement, which can account for most of the vehicle's value, and the fact that electric cars depreciate at a much higher rate than internal combustion cars, add to the overall cost. On average, electric cars lose half of their value over 5 years, significantly more than gas-powered and hybrid vehicles. So even if the EV market starts to rebound, the growth is unlikely to be substantial. This suggests that the transition to EVs will take longer than anticipated, and the goal of making all new cars electric by 2035 seems somewhat optimistic. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the world of EVs. Don't forget to subscribe to Highway Herald to stay updated on the latest vehicle news and upcoming videos. See you next time.